I know it's getting that time of the year where Christmas shopping is pretty much at full swing. Every mall looks like the movie Final Destination, and people are crammed arm to arm. Why not break that up with some Saturday football? A Saturday football triple header, beginning with what many would consider breakfast, with the Indianapolis Colts and Andrew Luck looking could who could claim the fourth seed today with the victory over Teddy Bridgewater's Minnesota Vikings, who are currently 5-7 as of right now in the first wild card. Green Bay plays tonight, so Green Bay can lock up the division with the win tonight against Pittsburgh over in the NFC side of things. There'll be 3 games on Saturday. Today on Fox, Colts and Vikings, and then at 3 Eastern, 1 o'clock Mountain, the Seahawks and Broncos. And then at 7 Eastern, Steelers and Packers. So, bit of news, they're actually going to put in Trevor Siemian for the Denver and Seattle game next week. Seattle game today. There will be 5 games tomorrow, highlighted by Saints and Chargers, who are, if they lose tomorrow and Minnesota wins today, Saints are pretty much done at this point. Denver has already locked up the conference and a good majority of the division. So, it's snowy outside this time of year in Minnesota, so come on in to the new U.S. Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Vikings today, as we are getting at the lunch hour. Colts are in their road whites this afternoon. Minnesota will be in their purple and white, their home jerseys. The Vikings have won the toss and will receive. McAfee getting ready to kick it off. Cordell Patterson back deep. McAfee going to the ball. We're underway with a triple header of Saturday football today. Trellis takes it from the end zone, spins out of the tackle. He's going. He's at the 30, and he is brought down at the 35. So here comes Teddy Bridgewater, the former Louisville Cardinal. Makes very wide decisions. He could possibly lock up the wild card as of right now today. If not there today, then Week 15 against Cincinnati, as the Colts defense limits Peterson to a gain of 4 on the play. Running a counter off the outside, off of the O-line. And that is a gain of 4. Is see a preview of the Colts defense. Second down and 6. Peterson to his left. They're going to run a draw this time, as Peterson goes up and gets 2 yards, as we look at today's offensive line presented by FedEx. As we look at the Vikings backs and receivers highlighted by Stephon Diggs. He is basically taken the NFL and just said, bring it on. He is the route runner receiver. And speaking of Stephon Diggs, Teddy Bridgewater overthrew him horribly. Incomplete. So we're going to see the Colts defense here shortly. Colts offense. Locke punts it deep. Bray will take it, and he gets brought down immediately at the 31. So out comes Andrew Luck, the 2012 draft pick after the Colts' dismal 2011 season. He has brought himself into the Pro Bowl and consistently into the playoff contention. And he actually brought his Colts to a title game in 2014. Gore goes up the middle and gets about 8 on the play. As we'll get the offensive line for the Colts today, presented by Snickers. And you see that man highlighted far left, T.Y. Hilton. He is dangerous. Every time people have prepared for the Colts this year, they have to really keep T.Y. Hilton in mind. Luck to Gore, right side. And that is about 6. As he gets up to the 45.
The type of run that if you keep getting them and accumulating them throughout the game, that'll really wear a defense down as we get to the fourth quarter.
It was Newman that pulled him down. First and 10. Look at the Vikings defense, obviously highlighted by Xavier Rhodes. Speaking of the Vikings, they were in a gridlock Sunday night in Denver against the Broncos. Remember that game? But Brandon McManus came out on top in that one, off of his foot. Broncos are at 12-1. As of right now, they will actually be playing at 3 o'clock Eastern against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Trevor Siemian is rumored to start for that game because they're going to give their best offensive weapon, Dylan Murray, some rest. As Gore gets a pretty big gain right there, a gain of about 11 for the Vikings, bring him down. Vikings kind of are in the same position as the Saints. If everything comes into it and the Vikings happen to have the same record as the Saints play tomorrow in San Diego, the tie will go to when these two teams met, which was all the way back in Week 5 at the Superdome, which was a 10-7 gridlock that went to the Saints, if I remember correctly. Luck, passing, and he's got Allen, who gets brought down at the 22. Harrison Smith brings him down.
Nice job by the quarterback to find his man open for a first down.
That's a nice little diagonal acute route. Harrison Smith said, I'm taking that. Tried going for it, and
lining up 1st and 10. They'll feed to Gore, and he is tackled. Hardly anything there.
Frank Gore gets 2 on the play. And the sides have switched. The first quarter has ended. We are at a stalemate today in Minnesota. We're even. Quarter 2 coming up in a few moments. Here are some highlights from this past quarter here on Fox.
Back now, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and this crowd hasn't had a whole lot of offense to cheer for today. These two defenses have really showed up.
2nd down and 8, as you saw on the camera. Frank Gore got a couple yards there. As the two sides have switched, the Colts will be going to the right. The Vikings will be going to the left this time. Luck going to run to Turbin this time as Turbin goes nowhere, as that was his first carry for the game, and he gets pushed backwards. Like people think the Trump administration lives in. He got pushed backwards harder than the Trump administration keeps getting pushed backwards by Democrats. So, 3rd down and 9 from the 21, Minnesota.
3rd down and 9. And the big tight end shifting around.
Ebron goes in motion. Luck for Dorsett, but he drops it. That would have been a sure touchdown there. Right there at the end zone. That would have been a sure touchdown. See him fired across the middle, but Harrison Smith was all over him. So we're going to have to settle for 3 here in Minnesota as Vinatieri will be kicking in, the longtime kicker, playing since 1996. Vinatieri converts for 3.
For a defense and let an offense drive down the field, that's the best end result they can get. And have them kick a field goal and not give up a touchdown.
Patterson back deep to return this one. With this kickoff, how will Minnesota respond? You'll find out. Shrells will take it from the end zone. Sheds 1, sheds 2. There's a flag on the play. It's probably on the receiving. Yeah, it's on the receiving team. And yep, Pruitt called for, looks like, clipping. Oof. So the Vikings are in a pretty bad spot here to start this drive. They're backed up at the 11.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Bridgewater to Peterson, right side. Stiff arm. He gets smashed for a gain of 1. That was his 3rd carry of today's game for 7 yards. So 2nd down and 9. Bridgewater fires to Kyle Rudolph. He gets the first, rushes through, and he gets to the 29. That's just a smart play there by Kyle Rudolph, that big tight end. And you see right there, those big tight ends, they're not afraid of contact to bully you over. See, Rudolph comes in, he almost charges, kind of similar to a ram. See it again. He's running along. He's pretty much at a full-on sprint. Brought him down for a gain of about 17.
So 1st and 10.
Bridgewater and the Vikings are in an I. Peterson gets stopped. No gain on the play. Let's go ahead and listen to Sounds of the Game.
Like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal. And a nice grab there for the reception. Then we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1. As a defender, you're never crazy about a completion, but anything that doesn't result in a 1st down, you're going to be happy about. The key is to make sure it stays that way all game long. No missed tackles that turn into big plays. Now 3rd down, less than a yard. Motion now for the tight end. And he's going to holler out some instructions. Shotgun formation. Throws it over the middle, and he wrangles in the football for a nice grab. And they're going to speed things up here. And they're going to go back to the air here on 1st down. And it's going to be brought down. So the defense has put them in a tough spot at 2nd and long. From the gun. Nearly picked off and dropped it. Pretty nice covers there for a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they count it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable. On 3rd and 15 now. Here's a run with AP. Taking to the ground, but not before a good pickup for the offense. Unable to convert on the 3rd down run, and now they'll have to move it away. And on 1st down, shotgun snap. Tries over the middle. He's knocked down by Greenway. And the offense is going to hold this game for the moment they take a timeout.
Back here at US Bank Stadium, the Colts are holding a 3-0 lead over Teddy Bridgewater and the Minnesota Vikings.
To resume the action. And that's the kind of bounce that adds up over time, Brandon. You may
2nd down and 5 from the Colts 15. Here, 34 seconds left. Very similar situation happened Monday night in Green Bay. In fact, they're still going to be playing in a lot of snow in tonight's game. We're in the forecast, but not as bad as Monday's game with the Patriots and Packers. It's going to be Steelers and Packers and pretty heavy snow. That's over on NBC tonight. 2nd down and 5. Luck to Gore as Gore gets 2 on the play. And 20 seconds left in the half.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down.
3rd down and 3. And time will hit 0. Gore will get the 1st down. And that'll be it from the first half today here in Minnesota. The Colts have a narrow 3-point lead, but anything can change here in the game of football. Very low scoring. Only an Adam Vinatieri field goal are the only points of the day. As we look at some halftime highlights. Playoff hopes on the line for the Vikings. The Colts are holding out on the 4th seed in the AFC. Indy and Pittsburgh can lock up their seeds to either tonight or Week 15. If Indy wins tonight and Pittsburgh loses, Indy will pass the Steelers in Week 3 and lock their division up, which proves all the more important depending on seeding. Getting ready for the second half. Colts will get the ball. As Walsh will kick it off. Time to see what Bray will do from the goal line. Takes it out. 10, 15, 20 to the 25. That's where the return will stop. As so far today's rushing trends, neither team really has cracked triple digits compared to some of the other barn burners we've seen this year. And to a certain extent this week. Especially with the Denver-Minnesota game last Sunday. Second down and 9.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Looking for the play action pass.
Luck, play action. Philip Dorsett gets to the 43. So far, it's been really just the running game show. Whoever has the better run. I mean, it seems like Frank Gore has been a lot more consistent, but the very few passes Andrew Luck has done today, he's been pretty much laser accurate, save for one. So, first and 10 from the 43.
And on first down.
Luck hands off to Gore. He gets stuffed. Loses about a yard on the play. And by that I mean he was stuffed pretty much right there for a loss. And now it's second and 11 from the 42. Not a whole lot of ground to make up, but some ground is Gore, right side. And he gets brought down right away. That is a 1 yard gain, third down and 10.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third.
Only 10 yards left for the Colts. Luck goes to drop. He's in the gun, firing for Dorsett, who gets a huge gain and a massive chunk of yards for the first down. Sendejo there on the stop, and over the week after a late hit that actually sidelined Broncos quarterback Dylan Roy for a quarter, he was actually targeted for a dirty hit. If you remember that hit that Sendejo dealt out on the 7, definitely could be controversial in some eyes. So how it'll work for the Seahawks and Broncos, Dylan Murray will play a half, and they'll let Trevor Siemian take over playing duties for the second half. And they will also let Trevor Siemian do the Saints game at the Superdome on Friday night. So there's the update there for the Broncos camp. They have locked up the first place seed, the AFC West, the AFC Conference all Sunday night. As Luck gets hit, the Broncos have also locked up home field. So start resting certain starters that have been critical to the Broncos' success this year. So third down and 10 as Luck gets hit as he throws. So it looks like we may get another field goal here. As that is Vinatieri going for the field goal. As Vinatieri, always reliable kicker, sends 3 more points to the Colts. Everyone lining up. Vikings will take it from the goal. And Shrells, look at the return as he gets shoved at the 41. Peterson going for the first. He's at the 50. And Peterson gets brought down at the 38.
Terrific vision. Saw the cut, dove for the hole, and got the first down.
First and 10. Third quarter is ended. You can definitely tell crunch time is starting to come here in Minnesota. Here on Fox, Colts and Vikings from US Bank Stadium. Colts are up by 2 field goals today over the Minnesota Vikings. Similar situation in Buffalo, except last week. Except the Colts had more field goals from the foot of Adam Vinatieri. If they can hold on for 5 more minutes, the Colts got it.
Welcome back, everybody. An offensive struggle, a defensive feast. That's what we've had to this point.
First and 10.
First and 10 now.
From the 38, 5 minutes left. Bridgewater fires, and it is caught to the 10. Touchdown, Stephon Diggs.
You're starting over. Tie ball game. Everyone's back to even, back to equal. A good job getting back in it.
Get ready for the extra try from Blair Walsh. Here we go. Hill is the place kicker, and the Vikings take a very narrow 1-point lead. This could probably come down to some sick chess. .453 left in the game. How will the Colts respond? Walsh will kick it off. And Moncrief will be taking it from the 3 as he sheds one and gets brought down at the 25, so it essentially works as a touchback for the Colts. Luck in the shotgun, firing it all for Rhodes with the interception. And Moncrief tackles him at the 46. What a momentum shifter for Minnesota. So after that interception, the Vikings will be starting from the 46-yard line.
Getting set on first down.
Peterson to Bridgewater's left. Peterson with a draw up the middle and gets 6 yards on the carry.
We always think a quarterback only has to throw the ball or hand it off. Sometimes a quarterback does a great job in faking things. In this faking a pass and handing the ball off to his running back on the draw.
Second down and 4.
4 yards remaining now on second
Both
down.
teams barely crack the 3-digit mark for yards total, with 111 for the Colts and 116 for the Vikings. So, third down and 5, the Indy 49. Bridgewater going in the gun, looking for Diggs again as he gets caught at the 24.
Offenses love the slant route because it gets the ball in the hands of the passer quickly and right into the hands of the receiver, breaking towards the middle of the field.
So that is a pretty solid game for the Vikings. So, first and 10 for the 24. Bridgewater with a draw to Peterson. Sheds 1, sheds 2 tackles, but gets 8 yards on the carry. Coming up on CBS, we will take you out to Denver, Colorado today, where the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos are getting set to do battle from Sports Authority Field. And we have just hit the 2-minute warning tonight from Minnesota. Vikings up by 1 over the Colts, 7-6. Second and 2.
Second down and 2.
From the 15. Bridgewater to Peterson, right side. Spin move, 1. And he gets 6. Is Deontay Jackson. It's Adrian Peterson for the stop at the 9. So, first and goal for the Vikings. They can improve to 6-7 today with a win from US Bank Stadium. Tomorrow's game's on Fox. You will get. Well, here we'll show tomorrow's game's on Fox.
So now it's first and goal.
We'll get to that later. First and goal for the Vikings. Bridgewater, Peterson sheds 1, and he gets to the 8. So tomorrow, those games on Fox will feature Texans and Cowboys, 2 o'clock Eastern, or Giants and Rams at 5. Will the Rams make a late stretch push for the playoffs, or will the Giants and the G-Men flood them out in the City of Angels? Second and goal. You can find out tomorrow on Fox, over on your partners at CBS. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and New England Patriots at 2, or the Saints and Chargers at 5. And Monday night, the last Monday night game of the year, the Saints and Broncos game will be featured as a Monday night, as a NFL Network special on NBC. And tomorrow and next Saturday is Texans and Packers will be featured as a Monday night football special on a Saturday. Third down. So back here in Minnesota, third down and goal. Trying to hold the Vikings. They're trying to hold the Vikings to 3. The Colts are. If they can get them. Yeah, but then again, they're thinking fourth down. If they don't get it, and they run a couple more run plays, the Colts have to go 99 yards to win this game. That's a lot. Bridgewater, Peterson, right side, and he gets stopped, and he gets in for the touchdown. That was just a nice run. Thought he was going to get through, broke the plane, ran over some Colts in the process. Now the Vikings get to extend their lead a little bit.
So they're in for 6. Let's see if they can make it 7.
So this means the Colts would have to score and make it 2. Here we go. And Walsh will kick it off. Moncrief takes it from the goal. 10, 15, 20, 25, and he's down to 29. Vikings are in dime. Luck, empty field. Looking, fires for Dorsett, but that one gets batted away, incomplete. You can definitely tell that Andrew Luck, you just saw as he was coming back, you can see the body language in his eyes. You know, it's kind of weird to watch the body language of a player after a play like that, and pay attention to the body language of somebody, but you can just see his dead look. You can see the look of, that pass got batted away. When you're down by 8, you have a playoff spot, but you have that extra week, and you got a couple of really tough opponents, so you don't want to risk anything. Even though the Texans are so far back, that you can basically tank the 2 games and still be good. But you want to win every week, so Andrew Luck and his Colts are trying to do that. Third down and 10 from the 29. Vikings have 3 in the box, 2 edge, and 1 person lying in pseudo safety land. Luck throws with his feet and gets to Turman, brings him down. Huddle back to the line, kid. Luck takes it back. Wide open is Dorsett for the first down. They're going to hurry back again. Luck drops from the gun. Looks to T.Y. Hilton this time. Hilton gets some space and falls out of bounds at the 36.
It's easy peasy. You know to get out of bounds. That's exactly what the runner did.
That is T.Y. Hilton getting threw quite a few tackles, taking a sideline throw. First and 10 from the 36. Luck takes it back, and he gets sacked. Big hit. Now Luck has got to hurry it back. Touchdown or nothing. They're going to spike it. Third and 17. Luck takes a big shot. Again, he's down. 33 seconds. 4th and 28. Getting the Vikings hole. Luck again to Bray, but he is nowhere near converting. They stop at midfield. The Vikings get the ball back.
I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route. And the defense comes out of the dome.
And he will kneel it here. 17 seconds and counting. So again, later today, 3 o'clock Eastern, you can actually catch a little bit of the Fox pregame show on Saturday the NFL Today Saturday edition from Denver, Colorado. With that, Greg Gumbel and Dan Dierdorf will call the Seahawks Broncos from Denver. And tonight on NBC will be the Packers and Steelers from Lambeau. Definitely an interesting game for Minnesota. The Vikings have come out on top 14-6. Again, just to announce that next week there will be 2 games on Friday, one at 3 o'clock Eastern and one at 7 o'clock Eastern. Colts and Seahawks will be at 3, and Saints and Broncos will be at 7. And then there will be a bunch of games on Saturday. And then we'll end the regular season stretch with Patriots and Rams on Sunday night. And then there will be a couple weeks, and playoffs will kick off in January. Remember, check the video for the schedule for the playoffs. Remember, seeds 1 and 2 will get the byes, regardless of conference. So, final score today from US Bank Stadium. Minnesota Vikings 14, Indianapolis Colts 6. Coming up next on Fox will be paid programming, followed by the Simpsons movie and your local news. For a guy who is totally not pretending to be Pat Summerall, see you next time.